What's up, guys? So I was going to take a little break off the YouTube videos. I was getting burned out. It just takes a lot of work. Anyway, my company is sending me to England tomorrow to go do a job. I figured I should at least record a video. I'll probably kick it out next week or something like that, but at least I get it out of the way before I come back with some weird accent that you guys don't appreciate. But yeah, I've definitely been there, England, before. I don't really typically want to go, but it is what it is, so I'll be there a week and come back.
Okay, hi Bailey!
Hi Bailey! We love you!
Have a great night!
Caution, you are approaching the end.
INFP vlog in London. Okay, that's all. But no, in this video, I just wanted to talk about HSP, or the highly sensitive person, and just basically see if you guys are as well, in which I highly suspect that a lot of you watching are also an HSP. It's not guaranteed or anything like that, but it is, reading the definition and things like that, it parallels a lot of INFP traits. So I believe that HSP and INFP essentially go hand in hand. It's not, HSP is not a Myers-Briggs term or Enneagram thing. It's something completely separate, but again, it's something I just want to talk about in this video. First, we got to roll the intro though. So to help me out, I got my trusty little laptop here, so I'm gonna try to pay you guys attention and not so much this little laptop. I don't want to have like a little relationship with the camera and the laptop and not you guys. It's just a parallel information where I've gathered and found. Obviously, I didn't develop HSP, so it's just me reading and researching and finding all this, and I'm just delivering it to your guys' phone or TV or whatever it might be. So yeah, I've known I was an HSP for a very long time. When I found out about INFP, when I started diving down, like I'm sure the rest of you have, you find something and it gets you really excited and you relate to it heavily. You're gonna dig and dig and dig further just to kind of uncover a lot more stuff in that little treasure box of self-actualization, I guess. This video, again, it wasn't some planned video. I was, again, inspired by stumbling upon another YouTuber that I seen, Red, I saw you down in the comment section. So I know some of you guys know about him, but I encourage you guys to go pop over to his channel. The channel's name is HSP Experience, the HSP Experience. The guy's name is Steve. He's an HSP, but also as well an INFP, so it's very relatable content. And for me, the relatableness is eerily weird. If you guys find this channel interesting, if you guys go over there, there's a lot of things that I talk about in my videos that he is going down the same path. I mean, he wants to definitely uplift other INFPs, HSPs, and also just basically help people out with just knowledge and just what he's gone through and the steps to kind of get there. And you know, same as this video is where I'm finding information that it's all out there for everyone to find, but we don't always necessarily find it. And he finds stuff that I might not find, and I find stuff that you guys might not find. And it's a big, essentially just, like I always say, and he says a lot on his channel, is he just likes the community of just helping each other out. And that's the same goal and mission I have. It's just, when I say like-minded individuals, it's basically, that's my, I guess, phrase that I'm using, but it's all the same thing. He uses quotes, recommends books and things like that. They're podcast related, so generally his main is podcasting, so the videos are quite lengthy, but don't be discouraged about that. Just when you have some time, sit down and just give the videos a chance, and you'll just, as you go through them, he's just got the comment section just shows the support that they have for him, and there's a lot of great information in his videos, so I just encourage you to guys just pop over there. As you're giving me an opportunity to be your viewing, whatever it's called, just stop over there and you can get a lot more information from him as well. So his name is Steve. He's a cool dude, and his mission is to really help people. So the HSP term is something completely different. It's not an MBTI thing. It's just something else. So in the 1990s, it was basically a phrase coined by Dr. Elaine Aron, a psychiatrist, and also in conjunction with her husband. It seems like Elaine was more of the driver of the thing, but she's very similar to like what Susan Cain's doing with the one that wrote, the author for the book Quiet. I own that book. It's back there on the little shelf of books there. But no, it's a good book, and it's just, she's basically, it's the same kind of charge of basically trying to enhance the visibility for us introverts and HSPs and whatnot. It's just, instead of getting that bad stereotype, which I do not like either, I'm trying to also, that's one of my purposes on this channel, is to uplift people that are just misunderstood. When in fact we can bring great things to this world, we just need to be given a chance to do so. And a lot of times in work and just life, you'll get stepped on and just looked over because you might be the quiet one and like, that guy he's weird, so I'm not gonna give him the opportunity to go ahead. But if people just understand how to work with us and just understand that, yeah, on the spot, we might not be able to do something for you right away, but if you give us time to do something, then look out, because if it's something that interests us, it's a value that we agree with and we're in line with whatever you guys are wanting us to do, just give us a little bit of that time and we'll come up with some crazy stuff that just most people miss, the little fine details and just things that, wow, that's amazing. A lot of times it does shock people, but it's just one of those things. We're not given those opportunities to excel. So I definitely like her going down this path and just giving us another thing to relate to. And like I said, HSP, it's not an INFP thing, but I assume that many INFPs are this, and it's accounted that HSPs are 20% of the population, and it's equally throughout men and women. Also, not just introverted people. It's said that 30% of extroverts are also HSPs. I got an article here that I found, thehaven.co HSP. I'll link it all down in the description. HSPs have often been called shy, timid, inhibited, or introverted, but Dr. Aaron contends that these labels completely miss the nature of the trait. She argues that sensitivity isn't anything but a flaw, and that HSPs are often unusually creative and productive workers, attentive and thoughtful partners, and intellectually gifted individuals. Let's see, I got some other stuff I found. Towards the end, I'm gonna go through like another website that has like 10 traits. I'll just kind of go through each one and just read them off quick and just kind of relate myself to these things, and also gives you the opportunity. But again, you can there's HSP tests online. You can just do your own self-research as we like to do. But again, that's just what I'm gonna throw in the end of this, and just one of the many different traits that you too could be an HSP. The SPS, it goes along with this HSP. So this is where they look at it and it's all, the sensory processing sensitivity is what SPS stands for. It's a temperamental or personality trait involving an increased sensitivity of the central nervous system and a deeper cognitive processing of physical, social, and emotional stimuli. Do you react heavily to smells, loud sounds, things around you? Are you acutely aware of just small little details that most other people are not? They're mostly just blazing through things, missing out on those fine details where we might catch a lot more, and you're kind of in wondering, why didn't you catch this too? It's because we're a lot more hypersensitive to things around us, and it affects us emotionally. And again, as an INFP, that's what I say, not all INFPs are HSPs. There's a high probability you are, because we're led by FI, introverted feeling, and things that are based on our values, and we process things emotionally and just things like that. That ties into being an HSP. So on this authentic HSP website, I got like 3 or 4 that I'm using here. There's a part where Dr. Aaron uses an acronym. It's the DOES, D-O-E-S. I won't go through all the description and the paragraphs of each one, but the D stands for depth of processing. O stands for overstimulation. E stands for emotions. E is also for empathy. It spells duh is like 2 E's, I guess. Whatever you feel like using, go ahead and use whatever E you want, emotions or empathy. It don't matter to me. And S stands for sensitivities to subtleties. But this is a nice little acronym. It's not really MBTI, but a lot of it does go back, and they refer to this in a lot of these websites, where Carl Jung, the MBTI psychiatrist that we've talked about, he basically coined the phrase innate sensitiveness, which this is where some of this stuff is based off of. And that basically means may process sensory data much more deeply and thoroughly due to a biological difference in their nervous system. So it boils down to the way we process the sensory input from the world, and the fact that we get overwhelmed more easily than other people by the things around us that travel through our sensory processing system. It's not something you can change. It's just something you're born with, and it's not a bad trait. It's just we process things a lot more. And I get jealous a lot of times that people just can rattle stuff off and not care. They just get through life, that doesn't bother me, and they just keep going. I kind of wish I had some of that ability sometimes, because it does get hard when you have to process every little tiny thing that comes your way. A lot of things these other individuals that aren't HSPs get to just blaze through the day and have it not affect them. But like something for me, if I get something that really bothers me, like it's 7 a.m. right when I wake up, I get a text message that throws me off or whatever, or some kind of conflict type situation, my whole day will be messed up. And a lot of times it's stuff that I shouldn't even worry about, but I don't have the ability to like block it out. You try to not sweat the small stuff and things like that you're always told, but I sweat all the small stuff. And it's very difficult to have a positive day when your day is rocked. And I wish that we can go back to before cell phones, because go through the whole day and then you come home to voicemails, and then yeah, your day is ruined at 5 or 6 p.m. at night when you click on your voicemails and someone died or whatever the bad situation might be. Nowadays we're so available, and it's like you can get that text right when you wake up in the morning, and although you had a great night's sleep and you're ready to go, boom, for an HSP, it just rocks our world. Me particularly, it really affects me. And I've got it to where I don't necessarily dwell on them so much. So like, yes, a little thing might affect me, but as long as I get to the night and sleep it off, forget about that. And I've processed it through the whole day. Yeah, I lost that day. I didn't really lose it, but I just gained more processing knowledge of myself internally and things like that, which is always a plus in my opinion. I usually get to the night and the next day I'm okay again until I get rocked again. So now I'm gonna get into that one website I found. It's melodywilding.com. It'll be in the description. Here, I'll just kind of go through these traits and we can go through them together and kind of relate to them through the digital waves of media. On here, she says, highly sensitive people tend to react more strongly to environmental stimuli and notice more details than other people. If you're an HSP, you may have felt out of place growing up, wondering why you were so deeply affected by the world around you while your friends brushed it off. Again, that's what I was mentioning. Get jealous sometimes about that. I wish I had the ability to not care. Because HSPs sense and react so intensely, they often report feeling isolated, like there is something wrong with them for being so sensitive. Often when people notice that you're so sensitive, they'll point it out, making you even more self-conscious of your emotions and reactions. Yep. So 10 traits. And again, I won't read all the paragraphs. I can send you guys to this website and you guys can go dig in there and jump in the pool of self-research fun. Number 1, you're used to hearing, don't take things personally. I get that all the time. There's people that actually know that's a soft spot for me. I generally keep my emotional cards close to me when I'm out in the real world, and I'm not sitting there just walking around just crying everywhere. So I do kind of keep a closed shop, especially with those around that aren't really close to me. When I'm with someone that I really let into my circle, you guys know what I'm talking about with this. I'm tendency to more let loose with emotions, but like when it's just natural people that I'm interacting with, I do not like to show a lot of my cards to them. I like to find out what their cards are all about. That's my little game of life. But I also don't let people see a lot inside of who I am. So like when I'm on my game and I'm really not stressed out and I've had a lot of relaxing, I've had a lot of alone time, I'm very on point. I'm very protective. I got that wall, it's nice and sturdy, it's protective. My cards are, But if you catch me on a stressed out day and I'm not ready for it and you make some kind of comment, then yes, I might strongly react to it in a sensitive type emotional way, not just crying all the time. And it's rarely that anyone's gonna see me cry out in public. Like, it does trigger a weakened wall response where that person's gonna be like, ooh, look what I found. Mr. Stalemate here he's all very sensitive towards this. So I work in a very male-dominated Western society type job. Western society, us men must be macho. So again, I don't care about all that stuff. I also don't wanna hear it, you know what I mean? So I'm not gonna sit there and just cry everywhere I go, like I said. But when these guys find a weakness, the male-dominated alphas and all that out there, when they find a weakness in you, they're going to attack it. They're like, ooh, I got this guy. Because again, they might not be emotionally or intellectually processing of just all the intuition and things that they might not be able to do. Yeah, they might be smart, educated people. If you don't have that ability that we have, they're gonna attack you in small, low depth type manners. And it's basically, hey, I found your weakness. There's a few people at work that will, if there comes to some situation where we're in, they're gonna quickly say,
oh, you're being too sensitive. Sean's too sensitive, everybody.
And he starts getting me mad that way. If you ignore these people, they go away. It's just one of those things, but that is something that annoys me. Number 2, receiving feedback is your worst nightmare. Talked about this in my 5 weaknesses video. And yes, feedback, criticism, same pretty much thing. I'm not good with the criticism. And this one, it says, they may go out of their way to avoid being criticized, which is by working hard, extra hard, and sacrificing to their own detriment in order to please others. It's that perfectionism and things that it definitely hits me. I have a massive perfectionist drive, and that's what I am. I'm I'm trying so hard to make everything perfect because I don't want the littlest thing. If someone says, hey, you spelled this word wrong out of like a 5,000 page whatever, if someone catches that one word spelled wrong, I'm gonna beat myself up. It's completely ridiculous and unrealistic. People make mistakes. We're all humans. But with me, I'll proofread that thing 100 times before I send it out to the public. And yes, I'm still gonna have mistakes in there. But if someone, gives me that little, hey, you made a mistake, it just bothers me. It's completely stupid. Number 3, you live inside your head. Yep, we live inside our head. That's, and INFP thing, HSP thing, it all kind of goes together. Decisions are majorly stress inducing. I can make decisions, but I've talked about this before. I don't necessarily, I don't have to make the decision if I'm around other people. If they want to make the decision, go somewhere, that's fine. Yes, if it's something I value and don't believe in and things like that, then yes, I'll stand up for that. And I'll just, no, this is not right, or whatever. You're a stickler for details. Just goes back to the perfectionism talk I was talking about. Like in there it says HSPs are extremely perceptive. They pick up on specifics of situations and notice the tiniest things. You're highly attuned to others' likes, dislikes, and preferences, and also perceptiveness can win you friends and allies right off the bat. I'm hypersensitive to everyone around me. Everywhere I go, I'm constantly evaluating the room. I find in big groups, I train a lot for my job, but in big groups, I'm always watching everyone. A lot of people will only concentrate on a couple people, but to win over that crowd or whatever, you have to really focus in. The people that, the guys that are crossing their arms and just don't want to be there, and they're, they can derail your whole mission to get everyone to the same goal. You basically have to watch everyone's mannerisms. I watch them constantly. I'm watching body language. I'm watching these people. I'm watching little, nod, head shaking things, and I don't need to be over there to hear the conversation of what's being said. I can just connect patterns with certain things and really get a pretty accurate vibe of the room. I like to kind of go in there and just have a quiet, just evaluation time, ask a little bit of key questions, things like that to get the awareness of the room. And then quickly I can gather, I don't know every little detail of everything that's going on people's heads, but just their mannerisms. You can really just play on the crowd and get people to the goal you want to get them to by basically just being able to monitor things like that. That a lot of people don't. They'll see things, oh, that guy's grumpy over in the corner. I'm not gonna go deal with him. But really that grumpy guy, if you don't deal with him, then he's probably gonna make your life a lot harder. So that's, those are a lot of people that don't have this ability to pay attention to small little things like that. And they have less worry, I guess, but for me, I am always aware of that. Number 6, you exude kindness. Yes, I'm very liked to be around, just not by everybody, obviously, but it's just, you kind of present a calming vibe to the room, and just people generally find that if you're a moderately healthy, whatever, HSP, INFP, if you're in a bad slump, then yeah, people don't want to necessarily be around you. But if you worked hard and you're not kind of in a depth part where I go into deep little bad zones, no one's going to want to be around you then. But generally, when you're healthy and things like that, then yes, you're kind of a liked person and people just generally want to kind of be around you. Number 7, you're a problem solver. I'm a electromechanical technician. I install big food equipment all around the country. Like I said, I'm going to England tomorrow, so I've been in this for 20 years. I haven't had this job for 20 years, but it's all been electromechanical type related. When a machine breaks, I have to troubleshoot to fix it. It's problem solving. With my career, it's also just some ability that I do just from that. People problem solving, I'm very good at it and I enjoy it. It's I enjoy problems because you get to go so big picture, all these ideas flow in your head, and just a lot of people can only see one thing. Oh, this is all we can really do here. I generally get 10 things that fly into my head. And I'm just yeah, we can do that, but we can also do this and this and this and this. I enjoy it. It's very self-rewarding. Maybe that's not the word, but just when you do fix something, help somebody, or, the machine's broken, it's fixed, and everyone's happy again. It's a very rewarding type thing. So, but yeah, problem solving, that's definitely goes with me, personal life and work life. Number 8, tiny annoyances grind your gears. Have you ever left a meeting and remarked about your client's extremely annoying, incessant pen tapping only for your coworker to say, oh, I didn't notice that? Highly sensitive people feel noise, chaos, and external stimuli profoundly. So what may be a major annoyance to you could go much unnoticed by a non-HSP. I don't believe I'm the sensitive one to sounds. I definitely like my quiet time, and maybe I am. Maybe that just goes hand in hand. But no, I've been to loud, concerts, and in concerts, I always try to leave early before the big crowd. I don't like I don't like crowded areas. I stay away from crowds. But no, if I go to concerts, I like stuff like that. I'll turn my music loud to time to time when I'm working out. I'll definitely turn the music up to get that motivation, but maybe I am sensitive to noise, but it's not to where I'm just like turning everything on volume level 3 and that's as high as I can stand. Yeah, tiny things, yeah, I'll get annoyed by that. Number 9, you go through tissues like it's your job. I don't sit there and cry all day long. None of you guys don't cry all day long either, but like here, are you one of those classic Hallmark commercial weepers who cries at both happy moments and sad? HSPs become overwhelmed more easily than others, and that may manifest itself in tears. Crying is a constructive, healthy release of emotions and thought patterns. A good cry can reset your mood, your mind, to be more productive and even keeled later. Again, crying thing, I do it. I'm sure a lot of you guys do it. And a lot of the tears are happy tears. You know, watching a happy movie and just when someone wins or things like that, it touches you. And yeah, I know it's a happy tear. It's not just I'm sad at everything. But yeah, there's things that touch me emotionally. Seeing one of those little dog commercials, you know what I mean, with the HSPCA or whatever. I don't even know the acronym, but when you see those things on TV, and it's those little sad puppies, they pose them right where they have little sad puppy. I'm a sucker for sad dog puppy eyes. When you have Sarah McLachlan like singing in the background or whatever it is, those commercials can take me down. I'm sorry, but yes, it's not just puppy commercials, but there's a lot of that stuff. And they do those commercials on purpose that way. So us sensitive people are triggered by it and we reach for our wallets to help and adopt and things like that, which is nothing wrong with it. But it is gonna touch us more than a non-HSP person with those commercials, and we're kind of their target audience, I would assume. And then the last one, number 10, you'd rather go for a run than play on a volleyball team. Yeah, I'm not a sports guy. I've played a lot of intramural sports. I played like softball in the Air Force and things like that, but I didn't play any sports in high school. I'm very athletic. I'm not really a sports guy. So like on this one, HSPs tend to prefer solo activities. Highly sensitive people often prefer to work environments where they control the external stimuli, such as a low-lit, quiet, or uncluttered workspace. Oh, and I like this part. I remember I ran into this part. Unlike most people, HSPs have the rare strength of being able to be alone without being lonely. And that's the thing. I tell that all the time to people. I need my alone time. I don't care who it is. I'm like, I gotta go away for a little bit. A lot of them feel sorry. Like, why would you want to do that? Come over with us. To me, it's not, I don't feel lonely. I don't. I'm with my head and I'm not just, it's my safe comfort zone. And I'm sure a lot of it's for you guys, but it's like a lot of the society and whatnot, they don't understand that we're not really lonely. I mean, I don't feel lonely. There's from time to time that yes, if you're in a deep introverted state where we're really recluse, then yes, there's moments where we're like, holy man, I'm lonely. But generally speaking, if you're alone for a couple of days, you're not really, most extroverted type people, if they're alone for like a week at a time, they're gonna be flipping out. They're like, I gotta go somewhere. But for us, I can be lonely. It doesn't make me feel lonely. I'm okay. I'm happy with it. I could do everything function. I could function by myself. I don't really necessarily need anybody else to. So yeah, this video is probably going on forever. So I'll edit it and try to put it together and just put links everywhere and different things that kind of key into what this is. But again, it's just another tool. Some of you guys have, I'm sure, found HSP already. If you haven't, then here you go. And then you guys can look at my websites that I've found and you guys can go dive even deeper and find your own stuff, which obviously we do. So again, I encourage you to go check out Steve's channel at the HSP Experience. I don't know, for, I guess that's all. Oh, it's so awkward. Bye.